On this week's show, Peloton Nutrition kicks off, and Cody has a new tea time series.
Plus, new class types for Kirsten and Denis. YouTube is now on Peloton, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 221 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am joined by my co-host, John Pruitt. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, Amanda. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah. All good. Hanging in there and, same old.
Yeah.
Pretty much how it is right now.
Same circus, different day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
The only good news is the weather's getting better. Each day gets better and better. So that's a good sign that we at least know we're on our way to some warmer weather.
Yeah, it's a bit rainy and gloomy in Michigan right now, but it's definitely warmed. I actually mowed the lawn, the first mowing this past week.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, grass is starting to grow,
Oh, yeah, no, we've had a couple mows. We've actually, It's been quite, It's we've had some really nice weather in Maryland, but it's rainy. It's rainy in New York this weekend. It was a rainy weekend in New York. I'm in New York this weekend.
I feel like it's been a long time since we've done a recording, and you've had your landscapers going at it and outside in the background.
Fridays. Now we record Thursdays. It's Fridays. It's Fridays. Yeah.
There we go.
Fun weekend in New York for me. I got to be in Maddie's Walk and Talk. I got to celebrate a milestone and Alex on Saturday with 2700. So fun weekend.
Congratulations.
In New York. Yeah.
It's been almost a year since I've been there. I need to figure out when I'm going to go back.
I think we need to do a Pelo Buddy reunion. We need to figure out, you need to tell Chris and me, and we need to get
gotta organize something.
Chris Giles will get to the States and we can organize it will be fun. It'll be fun if we were all there at the same time. Very fun. All right. Well, we do have lots to talk about today. So folks, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button so that you never miss an episode.
Yep. And we are on all traditional podcast platforms. Just search Pelo Buddy TV if you want to listen to the audio if you're on the go. And be sure to leave us a review. We love reading those 5-star reviews from time to time. And we also really do appreciate the feedback that we receive in those at times on ways we can improve the show. So keep them coming.
Absolutely. And of course, we're on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, first up, Peloton has made a new addition to the Peloton Entertainment platform and added regular YouTube, finally, as an option on Peloton Entertainment. So this means you can now watch YouTube videos on the Peloton bike, the tread, the row. Previously, Peloton only had YouTube TV as an option, which is a pay service. If you don't have regular cable or satellite service, YouTube TV. I actually have YouTube TV. I love it. But it's basically what you would watch, just regular TV and like DVR recordings that maybe you've saved of shows and movies and stuff. But through YouTube TV, it didn't allow you to watch YouTube videos.
Got it.
So only, whatever's recorded on your account and live TV was the only option there. So this marks the first actually completely free video platform added to the Peloton Entertainment platform. So to watch YouTube TV on your Peloton device, you just simply navigate to the Entertainment tab at the bottom of the screen. This will open Peloton Entertainment, and there you will now see an option for YouTube. and there's a separate icon for YouTube TV. And then if you just select YouTube, you can begin watching videos. You can obviously log into your YouTube account there if you want to, view your favorites or have it log your history, your watching history. Since YouTube was added to Peloton Entertainment, this means you can also use the Just Guidance feature to follow a structured workout if you wish while watching YouTube, which is nice, or just work out at your own pace. But as a reminder, though, you have to have an active all access membership to even access any of those streaming platforms, including YouTube, on the entertainment tab. So if you say put your membership on hold or canceled it, you won't be able to access any of those entertainment options like Max or YouTube TV, YouTube, and then Netflix and the other ones that are currently on there. So just a heads up.
Got it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then this is just a general expansion of Peloton's partnership with YouTube, which started, I guess, when they added YouTube TV back in December of 2023. But I know the feedback was a resounding positive response, which was nice.
Yeah. It's amazing how many people actually do use. Yeah, people do use YouTube. So that's awesome. All right.
I know Jackson was happy, but we're not really, we want him to do a workout. I feel like if he goes down there and he streams something, he's just not really, he's not getting the heart rate up. He's not really breaking a sweat. So
yeah.
I think he found it. I think he noticed it. We definitely didn't tell him. We didn't want to give him that heads up.
Yeah. I'm so impressed that he's so still on this fitness journey. It's awesome.
He's
so great.
Keeping with it. Yeah.
It's awesome. Fantastic. All right. Well, you may be interested in this. Peloton has announced 2 exciting updates. We kind of knew something was coming. We were waiting for what they were. Kirsten Ferguson will begin teaching walking boot camp classes, and Denis Morton will add regular meditation sessions to his schedule. So this will be a first for Kirsten teaching tread bootcamp classes. Her first class is Sunday, May the 4th at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. She becomes the 3rd instructor to lead this format, joining Maddie, who has been doing this for the last couple months, as well as Marcel Maurer, who does the walking boot camps in German. So that's really exciting. And I'm so excited for her. That's awesome. And then Denis will be offering meditation and yoga stacks, and will make him a regular on the meditation platform. Friday mornings, Denis will do a yoga flow at 7:30 a.m., followed by a 10-minute meditation. And his first class will be Friday, May 9th at 7:30 a.m. So while Denis has taught meditation before, there are only 11 classes that are on demand, folks. So this marks definitely a more consistent schedule for him. And the nice thing too is that both classes, both Kirsten's walking bootcamp and Denis's classes, will be in studio with live participants. So members are in studio for those classes. The bookings for both Kirsten and Denis dropped this past Tuesday, April the 29th at noon. So hopefully folks were able to jump onto that. But really exciting for them.
Very cool. Well, Peloton has launched a brand new class series that started this past week, Tea Time with Cody Rigsby. And it's described as a new series on the bike where Cody takes on the UK and spills the tea. The first class was released on this past Wednesday. It's now available, 20-minute Tea Time with Cody from April 30th. And then there's another one scheduled for this coming Wednesday, the 7th. These two were pre-recorded, so there's they actually put it on the schedule as encores. I think this past Wednesday there was an encore of it at 1:30, and then later on in the evening around 5:30, I did the 1:30 encore. And there was, a few hundred people on the leaderboard, which was fun. But these first two that are pre-recorded, they were recorded with members in the studio from PSL. So the official class description is as follows. How do you do, Boo? Meet Cody on the bike for a workout that will leave you chuffed to bits. Boo does Britain as only he can, spilling the tea on what makes UK so special with a cheeky and energizing twist. The series will feature some special guests. William Hanson, who is a British etiquette coach, is the guest on the first 2 episodes. And Peloton has said it's a 2-part premiere, but to stay tuned in the coming months for what he's cooking up next. They say, we promise the tea will be even stronger. The first class begins with this pre-taped segment of Cody and William Hanson around London with a little blurb about etiquette. And then from there, they cut to the studio. The ride proceeds as normal from Peloton Studios London. Cody explores some British culture on the ride. He gives his take on British royalty and the monarchy. Given the theme of the series, the playlist features a lot of British artists. And then in the middle of the ride, more about 3/4 of the way actually, the class cuts back for a couple minutes to this pre-taped segment with Cody and William, sort of an interview discussion where Cody gets some tips and tricks, like learning how to curtsy, as well as learning what happens when the king dies, that whole succession. I know Cody was like saying, can we, like, he was suggesting somebody else, and William said, like, this isn't Dancing with the Stars. That's not, we don't vote that way. So following the few minutes of that pre-taped segment, the video cuts back to Cody and Peloton Studios for the final part of the class. And then the class features some special segments, and at the end, there's like this little blooper reel, which is kind of fun with Cody and William. Just, I guess, some outtakes. It was a fun class overall. I think I could have done without that sort of middle segment.
Okay.
Where it just kind of takes you out of the ride. It's just, right. I don't know. It was kind of odd.
Okay.
And I thought it was funny that Cody, he was wearing this striped white and blue button-down shirt from some brand called Jacquemus. And
Jacquemus.
Yeah, from you can get it at Sex with Av. But I thought it was funny that Peloton felt the need that they had to blur out the name on his shirt, because I kept looking, I was like, what are they trying to blur out there? But I guess they felt they couldn't. Yeah. They couldn't, have a logo because obviously, because they don't have permission from the brand. But I had posted on my stories, saying, what is this, because at one point it cut and it wasn't blurred, and I just saw the JAC. And so all these internet sleuths, reverse image searched it and said, oh, here it is, boom, there it was.
Isn't it crazy? Isn't it crazy how you could find, he's a great designer.
Reverse image search for the win, but it was a fun ride overall.
I've heard mixed reports.
I'll stay with it. I like Cody. I'll try anything that he does. So
I've heard mixed reports. I've heard I can't get those 20 minutes back of my life.
It's not. Come on, it's not that.
I haven't done it.
It's not that bad. He was fun. He had some fun interactions with the studio member.
Yeah, he's Cody. All right. Well, a little bit more serious from Cody, Tea Time with Cody. It's official, folks. Peloton has entered the nutrition space, teaming up with registered dietitian Dr. Jamie Scher, who is now featured as the Peloton nutritionist. The initiative kicks off with a new content series called Peloton Kitchen, showcasing instructors' favorite recipes and nutrition tips across Instagram and YouTube. The first recipe that launched is Power Zone Oats by Matt Wilpers. It features oats, seeds, nut butter, and fruit. It delivers 50 grams of carbs, healthy fats, and 9 grams of fiber, and is aimed at post-workout recovery and easy-to-meal prep. Dr. Jamie's content will appear on social media videos with on-screen ingredient tips, Q&As, and fun facts. She provides expert-backed nutrition advice alongside the instructors. Peloton did clarify, though, that this is supplemental content and not integrated into classes, respecting that not all members seek nutrition guidance. But the launch does support Peloton's broader wellness vision, complementing previous efforts in sleep, post-meal walks, and holistic recovery. There was a cute reel with Rebecca Kennedy and Jamie that popped up. I guess she's a very good friend of Rebecca's. So they shared some back and forth a little bit and introducing her on there. And I've actually I follow Jamie. I followed her. I've heard about her just through, I'm always into nutrition and figuring out what works and doesn't. And, she really has some fantastic tips. One is like this nonsense about cutting carbs. She's a big believer in that carbs need to be in your diet. You need to figure out how to use them properly. And, they're so important, especially if you are strength training and running, etc. And then the other thing that she's mentioned in the past is fiber. People tend to talk about carbs and protein and, macros and all this type of thing. She said, but fiber plays such an important role, in your nutrition, especially if you're working out. So I think there's some good tips that'll come. I'm excited about it. I've always been someone that's been interested in learning more about nutrition and how it fuels your body. And I've been working with my own nutritionist for the last 18 months or so, kind of helping me. So this is nice that it's incorporated and fun to get to see what the different instructors will get to offer us. And, as far as meal plans and stuff go. So yeah, nice new segment. Kudos to them.
Talk about mixed reactions. There's definitely.
Oh, it'll always
both,
be. Yeah.
Well, Peloton has shared which featured classes you can look forward to during the week of April 28th through May 4th. Through their weekly This Week at Peloton Instagram post. First up, Jess King kicked the week off with a 30-minute sweat steady low impact ride this past Monday, April 28th. We've got new shadow boxing classes from Jermaine Johnson, Rad Lopez, and Selena Samuela that were released directly to the on-demand library on Tuesday, April 29th. They are a 20-minute shadow boxing with Rad, a 15-minute one with Selena, and a 20-minute pop shadow boxing with Jermaine. And then on Wednesday, April 30th, a new 10-minute core strength class dropped on demand from Robin Arzon that uses a foam roller. And then finally, on Friday, May 2nd, Selena Samuela's 30-minute Miranda Lambert Artist Series walk became available on demand. It was originally scheduled, we had mentioned it, I guess, a week or two ago when that Artist Series was happening that Thursday.
Yeah, and
it was originally scheduled to take place last month with the rest of the Miranda Lambert classes, but Selena ended up being sick, couldn't record it. Nobody filled in for her for that one. But instead, she's now recorded it on demand, and it's available for you to take as of this morning.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, good stuff. Well, if you were a participant, you will be well aware that Peloton has wrapped up its first ever 100-day challenge, which ran from January 1st until April the 10th. And they have shared some pretty impressive community-wide statistics. So here we go, folks. A total of 83,600 members completed the challenge by engaging in a Peloton workout, recovery, or meditation every single day for 100 days. That amounts to 21.8 million plus total workouts that were completed, with 36.6 million miles or 58.9 million kilometers traveled, 447.3 million minutes of movement and mindfulness was logged. So, pretty impressive, stats. I think that those are. And I think everybody loved this challenge and kind of really jumped on it. I think this is probably the biggest,
collective challenge
that they've done for sure. A congratulatory video featuring Katie, Adrian, Aditi, Selena, Camila, and Bex was shared on social media. And as a reward for participants in the first round, Peloton offered a 50% off apparel through the end of April with the code 100 days. So hopefully folks knew about that. I have to be honest with you. I didn't. And I kind of just saw it when I was doing the notes on April 30th, and it was a nice discount. I ended up just getting a handful of things that I'd been wanting to get, but 50% was nice. And it was also like on the Lululemon stuff, which was very nice. So it was pretty much for everything.
Yeah, yes. It always seems like there's some exclusion.
Exactly. All right. So what's up next? A new 100-day challenge begins May 26th, and it's offering another chance to earn a unique badge and commit to consistent movement. So there is something to be a part of.
Nice. Well, we got another challenge now. Peloton is once again expanding those monthly challenge. And this month, we'll see the launch of the first Elevation Challenge. The goal of the Peloton Elevation Challenge is to see how many feet you can climb on the Peloton tread or the app outdoors. The official challenge description for the first installment of this, the May Elevation Challenge, reads, set your sights on the summit with our new monthly Elevation Challenge. Earn a badge when you climb 500 feet or more across your hikes, walks, runs, and tread boot camps for the month. The challenge tracks both class workouts and just workout on the tread or app. And as with other monthly challenges, the badges for hitting certain milestones are as follows. So you can get gold for achieving 2,000 feet or more, silver for 1,000 feet, and bronze for 500. And the description does also note that this amount counts both classes as well as the just workout that I mentioned earlier. It'll track both on the Peloton Tread and Tread Plus, as well as ones taken via the
outside.
App.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a fun one too. All right. Well, a new program was just released, a 1-week strength program called Strength for Cyclists. It's led by Ben Aldous in English, and a similar German version is taught by Erik. The program is designed to improve speed, endurance, stability, and pedal efficiency through targeted strength training and stretching routine tailored for cyclists. It includes 6 classes over 3 days. The program is structured that it has 3 strength days, each paired with a 10-minute stretch, with the goal being to enhance posture, mobility, and cycling performance. Members will earn a gold badge for completing all 6 classes. So you kind of have to get all done in order to get that badge. Breakdown of the program is as follows. Day 1 is a 20-minute lower body and core strength, followed by that 10-minute stretch for cyclists. Day 3 is a 20-minute full body strength with a 10-minute stretch. And then day 5 is a 30-minute full body strength, followed by the 10-minute stretch. So definitely something new. This program is really part of Peloton's growing Strength for Sport series, which already includes programs for golfers, skiers, and soccer players, with apparently basketball coming soon too. So you definitely look out for that.
Nice. Well, Peloton's created a new version of their recent You Can Run 5K training plan in Spanish. So this uses the same videos, instructors, and music as the You Can Run 5K program in English. However, the instructors' voices have been swapped out and a Spanish language voice has been added over the original classes, creating Spanish language versions. The new Spanish version of the program was released earlier last week, and a few weeks after the English and German versions were added. So now we have now 3 different languages in that program.
Yeah, surprised they didn't just have Mariana, do
and
it
Camila
in
Spanish,
in Spanish. But I guess they had their reasons. All right, this past week, a few changes were made behind the scenes, but they were notable to its schedule feature, which allows members to plan on-demand classes for a future date or time. So previously, users had flexibility to start these classes early or a bit late with ease, but not anymore. The start button now only appears close to the exact scheduled time. So trying to begin even 10 or 15 minutes early or late disables the start button, showing the message, class has ended.
For a live class?
No. These are for if you've scheduled your classes. I believe, you know what? I don't know the answer to that if it was for a live class. I thought it was if it was.
That applies.
I think it's
right.
if you've set it for an encore or a, if you've like kind of scheduled yourself. I want to start working out at 7 p.m. and you've kind of done your schedule, but you really are free at 6:30 and you want to start at 6:30. It won't allow you to do it.
Okay.
You can only do it. Now, there is a workaround. So if you do want to join outside the window, members must either remove and reschedule the class or manually search for the class to start it. Interestingly enough, though, Peloton support did confirm that this was an intentional update and not a bug. There was a lot of rumors about this may be a bug. People called, and it was, in fact, an intentional change.
I don't think I've ever done this, use the schedule. I just stack.
Not like that. Yeah,
me
too. I just
do a stack and then
that's what I do. That's what I do.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So last week I mentioned the iOS update had rolled back. So now it seems to be more widespread for pretty much anyone on an iOS device for the update to the Peloton app. So 2 weeks ago, we kind of went in more detail about that update. And then Peloton, I guess, apparently found some bugs, reverted it back to the previous version. Well, now the newest version is now fully rolled out and deployed and obviously is now permanent. But just to recap some of the major changes, they moved some stuff around. So the profile section of the Peloton app is now accessed by using the bottom right icon at the bottom of your phone or your device. With the update, the default tab when you actually open the profile page is now called Progress, which is a pared down version of the old Overview tab. So before this update, the things you would normally see at the top would be information about yourself, your leaderboard image, your name, your tag, your follower count of who you follow, how many people follow you. That information now is just cut off and it's no longer visible at all on this Progress tab. So it doesn't actually just impact the view of your own profile. It actually affects when you view other profiles as well of other members on the app. So if you're viewing information about one of your friends or followers, you'll no longer see their bio, profile image, and other information that you would normally see at the very top there.
Right,
you instead see the same sort of pared down Progress tab that you would see from your own profile. So the icon in the top left of your leaderboard of the screen in the app, which is basically your profile image, you click that and that will load a new display with information similar to what used to be at the top of that screen of the overview page with your follower account, your image, your name there. So for everyone's profiles also, one change, the goals and music tab have been removed. So yeah, kind of not really digging that update at all. It's just, you have to take extra steps now. Like if you want to find friends, you got to click up in the upper right-hand corner and click find friends. It's just, I don't know. They just added more work to get to the areas that you could normally just access super quick and easily. I don't understand it.
I know. I always wish and they just don't ever tend to give us any explanation. It just happens. No. And we never know why these things happen. They just happen.
Hey, Android users, you're safe for now because apparently this update is not taking effect. It's like the one time I'm jealous of Android devices.
Right. That's too funny. Okay. Well, wrapping up this week's news stories, Peloton will release its fiscal Q3 2025 earning results next Thursday, May 8th. It's a special day, John Pruitt, May 8th.
Mark's birthday, your boo.
and yours, the two men in my life. I've said that often. So next Thursday, May 8th, ahead of the US stock market opening, a conference call and live webcast will follow at 8:30 a.m., where company leadership will discuss financial performance and strategic updates. For the first time, though, this is going to be something new. Retail and institutional investors can actually submit questions in advance using a provided form. So that's something that will be new, and at least those questions will be answered then in the call. A recording of the webcast will be available on the investor site for 30 days after the event. So we will hopefully have lots of information.
Yeah, we'll have a nice
next week.
Little recap. Yeah, next week's episode.
Yes. And I guess happy birthday, Chelsea. Yeah, we had Chelsea Jackson Roberts' birthday. It was on Wednesday, April 30th. So huge shout out and happy birthday to beautiful Chelsea.
She's a Taurus, right? April 30th.
She's a Taurus. April 30th is a Taurus. Yeah.
Fellow Taurus.
You'll hear Maddie talking a lot about being a Taurus in the next few weeks. I mean, it's like all about Taurus. I have so many in my life.
Although on Thursday morning, he did say that Tauruses don't like to drive fast. I don't agree with that.
I didn't agree with that either. We have to negotiate that with him. But he's not a driver. He lives in New York City. He has for 20 years.
Yeah, he said he doesn't even like to drive.
So I don't blame him. I think we need to take that out. Yeah, I'll mention that to him when I see him.
It does not apply to all Taurus.
Certainly doesn't apply to my husband. That I can tell you.
Yeah. Well, moving on to instructors in the news. First up, Peloton instructor and ultra endurance runner Susie Chan is inviting the community to join her in a special running challenge to celebrate her upcoming milestone birthday. In a recent Instagram post, Susie shared that she's turning 50th on May 10th. And she is marking the occasion by doing something that she loves, running. In the post, she shared, countdown to a big birthday next month, this month now, because it's May. Obviously, I'll be celebrating by running, a little celebration party, of course. I thought to mark the occasion, how about a monthly run challenge? 100 miles for May. It's super simple. Walk, jog, or run the distance across 31 days. Track the progress on the Peloton app, tread, or outdoor. 100 miles in the month is not an insignificant distance, but a fantastic goal to set for yourself. To commemorate the milestone birthday, Susie launched this challenge, which is now already in effect. It started on May 1st. The rules are very simple. You just walk, jog, or run a total of 100 miles throughout this month. You can track it like the post said on the app, the tread or outdoor runs. You're also encouraged to share on social media with the hashtag 100 miles for May. Just one thing to clarify, this isn't like an official challenge where you go on the app and you opt in. So just in case you're wondering, it's not in that section for challenges where you can, click join challenge. So it's not part of, the Peloton program or app.
Yeah.
But Susie will be hosting an Instagram Live in the coming days. Oh, sure, did.
She did. I was going to share.
Susie hosted an Instagram Live.
With our good friend Greg Pick. With our good friend Greg Dawson did it. Yeah, he's one of the admins
did you watch any of it?
Susie Striders, yep. And I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to see it live, unfortunately, but they did go ahead and post it on the Susie Strider. So folks, if you're not a Susie Strider, you can certainly go onto the Instagram.
So you can watch the replay.
Yeah, and watch the replay. Yeah,
because a lot of times they go live and they don't save it.
No, they did.
So.
They did save it. Greg was hysterical as always. He was fantastic. And they did a really amazing job. So some good laughs. And Susie's so easy to chat to. She just makes it so lovely. So they did a fantastic job. Huge shout out to the Striders and Susie Striders. So yeah, head over to Susie Striders and you can, I think actually Daisy Mack set up a kind of like a what do I want to say? Not an Excel spreadsheet, but something that you can track for the 100 days. So you can say how many miles you've done. And I think that may be on the Striders Facebook page. So if folks want to go and take a look at that, they can. Yeah. So that'll be kind of something fun to do for May. Pair that with Maddie's May core challenge that he spoke about on Thursday morning in his core strength class. But that's something as well.
I blacked out when I was having a stomach spasm from.
Right. Yeah. No, it was awful. That core class was just.
What are they called? Like tabletop. We were touching our knees with our elbows.
Horrible. Anyway, all right, moving on. Next one is just a huge shout out and congrats to Ash Pryor. She ran her very first half marathon in her hometown of Columbus, Ohio last weekend. She posted her experience on Instagram, and I gotta say, for someone that finds running hard, I'm talking about myself, someone that finds running hard, finds it challenging, she has made it look so fun and just embraced something different. And I gotta say, it's been phenomenal to watch her, and she's given me such inspiration. And I'm in awe. I'm actually in awe of her because, it's a huge challenge for her. She talks very openly about her Hashimoto's and, her autoimmune, deficiency. And clearly she struggles with her weight. That's something that has been challenging for her. And yet she embraces it. And I think it's a huge shout out because what we have seen, and I've said this 1,000 times on Peloton, on Pelo Buddy, is Peloton has given those that would not ordinarily take the risk of going out of their comfort zone to go out of their comfort zone. And, I've said it, whether it comes to yoga, whether it comes to running. And she's done that. She's shown us that it doesn't matter your body type. It's all about being healthy. And that's what I love about it. So is it great to be thin and whatever? Sure. But you don't have to be. You just have to be healthy and, move your body and get your heart rate to where it needs to be. And she's proved that you can do it just with perseverance and determination. So I had to add that in because I am truly, truly in awe, and huge shout out to Ash for that.
Yeah, and don't forget she's an elite athlete, an elite rower who was on the rowing team at Ohio State University. Sure. I actually didn't realize she was from Columbus. I just thought she went to Ohio State. It was interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, shout out to Camila Ramon, who recently received an award. In an Instagram post this past week, she said, "Thank you, El Diario, Nueva York, for the honor of being named a Mujer Destacada, which means in English, outstanding woman." She said, "I was beyond honored to share the space with such incredible women, many of which I was so glad to know take my classes, women creating such meaningful and impactful change in our community." And El Diario is an institution for the past 110 years has not only informed Hispanic readers, but they also served as a platform for activism and for community rights. So each year they do this award recognition. They recognize outstanding women, showing women who not only achieve their goals, but who have also paved the way for future generations. So big shout out to Camila on that.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. All right. Well, Kira Michelle will be at the 2025 Telluride Yoga Festival in June. The festival promises 4 days of yoga, wellness, and community. It's from June 26th to the 29th. It's in Telluride, Colorado. And while the full lineup is still being released, the festival will feature about 30 plus presenters, including Kira, as well as well-known yogis, meditation guides, and holistic healers. There will be about 100 plus offerings ranging from yoga classes, workshops, to outdoor activities and wellness experience. This year's festival emphasizes inspiration, transformation, and connection in a stunning natural setting. Updates on presenters and class details will continue to be shared as the event date approaches.
Very nice. Well, Allie Love was the host of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum 5K run/walk last weekend in New York City. In an Instagram post from her account and the Peloton Instagram studio page, she said, "Grateful to move and remember alongside Allie Miss Love and Spotify and our Peloton family this weekend." She shared, I think she was pictured think it was a New York City firefighter. And then they also showed a little video snippet of her on the side stage, I guess at the starting line, sort of kicking off, starting the actual race, with her on the microphone.
Yeah. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And lastly, for instructors in the news, we mentioned last week that last Sunday was the London Marathon. The instructors in the UK were out in full force. There was so much activity, and it was amazing to see the camaraderie from the instructors in London. At the, on the road, on the course, we saw Hannah, Susie, Jeffrey, Leanne, and even Cody, who, as we know, was in London last week, was out there cheering as well. So always nice to see the support that we get from the instructors. There were no instructors running this year in the marathon.
Interesting.
So remember last year, Ben and Leanne had their debut run, and Leanne made it very clear that it was a one and done for her. Ben has said that he may run again, so we'll have to see. But it was, always lovely to see the support that the instructors, give, even though there were no instructors actually running the marathon. And I think that wraps up the
instructors in the news.
Instructors will go into class picks of the week. And you know what? I will kick it off. Because my girl Mariana is first up, folks. We have her 20-minute Rising Rock Yoga Flow. It was from April the 24th. It was a drop. This one came to us from Amajar 3, and she said, fun, slow, with great new music. It really was an awesome workout. All right. And then Ali Love and Camila Ramon's 30-minute Pitbull 2-for-1 ride, also from the 24th. That was at 7 p.m. It came to us from Christina M. Romano, Love Squad Peloton, Amajar 3, and Amy ASL 13. And they said this was pure joy and energy and such a great workout too.
I got a big kick out of the Instagram reel recently. I think it was Allie and Camilla. With sunglasses on and bald caps and I think a little fake mustache and them and sort of like a white button down and sort of the Pitbull uniform that he wears. Just sort of like dancing around the corporate office and all the funny reactions from employees there.
It was very cute.
That was pretty good.
It was a great ride. I have to say I did it and loved it. I thought, I love Pitbull's music. It's that whole Miami vibe. So it was really fun. And they're cute together. They were really cute together. Wouldn't have paired them up, and yet they, both Miami girls, and it worked beautifully.
Representing the 305.
Exactly. And then a little bit more serious, we had Hannah Frankson's 30-minute Power Zone EDM ride. That was from the 25th at 8 a.m. This one came to us from Kat Cece, and they said great playlist and structure.
All right, moving over to the Strength Studio, Rad Lopez's 30-minute glutes and legs from April 25th. Marley Ryan and Julie MJ said great push and a great sweat. And then Hannah Corbin's 45-minute bar from April 25th. Spinbug said it got bloody and it was tough, but it was fantastic. And then over to the tread, Alex Toussaint's 30-minute hit run from April 25th. Steffi is sweaty, said, structured this class as a sprint intervals class, which I loved.
That's awesome. All right, Matt Wolpers, 45-minute Power Zone endurance ride from the 26th at 8 a.m. came to us from Jennifer Carroll, 22, Olbers Liz, and Just Shields. They said my favorite Power Zone endurance to date and enjoying the new program. So that's part of that new program which we spoke about last week. Aditi Shah had her flow and let go, flow and let go, also from the 26th at 9:30 a.m. This one came to us from Amajar 3 and said very relaxing and great way to unwind. And then Ben Aldous had a 20-minute upper body strength class. This was from the 27th of April at 7 a.m. Came to us from Left Kicks, and they said really enjoyed the sequencing in this class.
All right, heading over to the bike now. Benny Adami's 60-minute intervals and arms ride, which was in German from April 27th. Armajar3 and Sparkly813 said, this had an incredible playlist and the hour flew right by, but wanted to mention he shared a little Easter egg that one of the artists on the playlist is the next Artist Series ride. My guess, Britney Spears. I feel like it fits since they've been redoing some of the bigger Artist Series from that time, such as Backstreet Boys and Lady Gaga. Plus, Cody mentioned Britney several times in the Tea Time with Cody class. That being said, I have no intel or anything. It's just a hunch. Stay tuned.
Interesting. We'll have to stay tuned.
Now, Bike Bootcamp, Tune Days, 30-minute Bike Bootcamp 50/50 from April 29th. Deb8 said, love Tune Days Bike Bootcamp classes. And then Bradley Rose's 30-minute Metal Ride from April 29th. Tom 7RK said, can't go wrong with any of Bradley's metal classes.
Nice. And then wrapping up, we have Alex Kowarski, his 45-minute progression run from the 29th at 7 p.m. It came to us from Nat M. Mann. They said, great playlist, but a super challenging class. And then Bex Gentry had a 15-minute intervals run from the 30th. It came to us from Patrick 707, and they said, great quick workout. And then, of course, wrapping it all up is Cody Rigsby's 20-minute Tea Time with Cody, also from the 30th, came to us from Bobby Can Ride 82, and they said, fun new series, looking forward to more of these. And that, folks, wraps up the picks of the week. All right, John, I guess we got it all in. Hey, and we got it in. Did we get it in under an hour? We got it in under an hour. Look at us. We are doing
Packed
well.
it in.
Packed it in. There was a lot to share with you guys. All right, folks, as always, I always like to end off by just saying thank you. Thank you for taking the time to listen, to tune in, whether you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us on the go. Thank you, as always. Next week, we will have those third quarter earnings for you. So we'll have some more interesting news and we'll celebrate John Pruitt's birthday. So, and all those Tauruses and all those Tauruses. Anyway, from me here, as always, thank you so much and see you next time.
And for me here in Michigan, thank you for tuning in, watching, and listening. And as always, we will see you on the leaderboard. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.